I'm going to give an overview now of this Mark III Sky LNB that we see in front of us. Basically, it's made up of two parts. We have the actual LNB here itself, and we also have the plastic insert. Now, we stock this on our range of LNBs on the TV Trade website, simply because up to around 2009, this was the standard design for Sky LNBs. And what happens with Sky is it's constantly evolving in terms of both the dish design and also the type of LNB. So this was called a Mark III LNB. So the current LNB that they use in Sky dishes since 2009 is this Mark IV LNB. And what actually happens is if we're putting this onto an arm, say this arm was coming out of your Sky dish to hold your LNB, you'll actually snap it on. Now normally this LNB, if it was a Mark IV one, would actually come at a spirit level on it, and it snaps on like that. And the prior version here, which was used up to 2009, was the Mark III, and prior to that there was a Mark II, which was the same as this, except it just had a direct push-in thing here. So why are we stocking this if it's a dish that's no longer used? Well, for a very simple reason. You can have a situation where people have a Sky dish in their house and somebody kicks the football off the dish, so it breaks the LNB, but the satellite dish itself is solid and still in the right situ, etc. It doesn't need to be replaced, but the LNB does. Well, if we didn't stock this product, what you'd actually be forced to do is you'd be forced to buy a complete new dish, because you wouldn't be able to get a Mark IV LNB to work with your old Mark III dish. So this is why we're stocking this product on the website. So it's important to know that this really only suits your satellite dish if it's one of the old push-in types. And just to demonstrate this exactly, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take this plastic insert which we've here, and I'm just going to push this into your arm here. Now if you had an old Mark III satellite dish, probably this plastic arm will still be there, there'll be no problem with it. And you can simply come along and get the LNB here, and you can slide it in, and you can use something like this plastic insert here and push it down, or more commonly a cable tie is even better, and it just pushes it in and it locks your LNB into position. And this arm here is obviously coming directly off your satellite dish. Now, even though there's a number of different companies that make Sky dish equipment, and the dish design actually varies slightly depending on not just the mark, but whether it's an electronic link or a Raven or a global link. The actual LNB design was universal in terms of the actual design and dimensions. So a Mark III LNB will work on any Mark III Sky dish. So there's no problem there in terms of compatibility, but it would have to be a Mark III. So hopefully that's relatively clear to you. We have a pretty comprehensive range of Mark IV satellite dishes and LNBs. So although the Mark III is only available in a single LNB on our website, the Mark IVs, we'll say, which are the main ones we stock obviously now because it's the current one since 2004 or 2009, would be a single, a quad and an octo LNB. So that's it anyway, an overview of the Mark III Sky LNB.